Okay, hello and welcome to the AECB's launch of our new course on understanding building physics. The course is in collaboration with Gloria Lowe of OESA Designs and Sarah Edmonds of Studio Search. So today we will be talking about building physics and its role within the built environment and the need for the construction industry and profession to understand building physics, and ultimately why we are running this course in response to this. So Sarah, let's start by discussing the purpose and need for this course.
Thanks, Sarah. Yes, so the aim is to improve the baseline knowledge of building physics for built environment professionals working in the retrofit arena. Participants should come out with an understanding that physics is just the underlying concept of everything around us.
Great. And Glo, what is the background to this course?
So the background of this is to help the construction industry that's sort of settled in this status quo of not really understanding what they're actually doing to the built environment and not understanding why things work or fail. And so there needs to be more practical knowledge in designing and in building, understanding what we're doing to our building stock. And from understanding that, we can then help with climate change, help with energy bills, and all that follows. Without that understanding, designs don't have longevity. It doesn't really suit its purpose and function to actually keep us safe and secure and comfortable. And so building physics is the fundamental keystone to what the construction industry needs now, both for our comfort, for energy crisis, climate change, all of that. Our resilience is by understanding our world around us.
Great, thank you. And Sarah, what would you say is the problems, the solutions and the opportunities?
Well, I think we can all relate to, at one point or other, when being involved in designing or procuring works around buildings, we've always had an experience where you can be a little bit terrified of something that you don't fully understand, or the implications of something that you don't fully understand. And I think when professionals within the built environment, and I mean designers, engineers, surveyors, clients, like the whole lot, when we shrink away from understanding those principles of building physics from the fear of that lack of knowledge, it may actually be the fear of the technical equations and complicated physics, whereas the reality is that mathematics and those sort of hard, like, crunching of numbers isn't necessarily the baseline that you need to have. What you need to understand is the kind of overall implications of buildings as systems, and also who to go to for additional help. We're not supposed to know absolutely everything about everything. We just need to understand the broader picture and where to source that sort of information. So the course is designed to make those scary thoughts sort of palatable, and to provide ways of sort of understanding and applying critical thinking to those moments where we might feel a little bit scared. And it will explore the potential within better understanding of first principles of building physics in a way that really seeks to empower and enable those working in the built environment. So it's about building up our resilience as professionals so that we can really be brave when we're engaging with the buildings and the built environment around us.
Mm. And Sarah, how does this course relate to the rapid need for us to retrofit our buildings?
Oh, I think this is so crucial. And in fact, this is why this course has come into being. We fundamentally need to understand our buildings as systems. For too long, retrofit has suffered from single measure approaches, which can result in all sorts of unintended consequences. And we've seen that just too often. If we can understand that buildings are a series of components and systems that interact with each other, that have an impact on each other, if we can understand that sort of system approach, then that, I think, is going to unlock a lot of the potential in the built environment and in the professionals in the built environment to really get to grips with what retrofit really needs in terms of that systems approach and that systems understanding. So hopefully this course gives that baseline before you sort of start to embark into your deeper retrofit training and education.
Yeah. Great. And Glo, who would you say this course is for?
I would say this course is for everyone, anybody who is curious to find out more. Architects, surveyors, EPC assessors, people working in local authorities, clients, people who want to do DIY, students, it's just everybody, people who actually build, tradesmen. It's understanding what we're doing. So it's really for everyone. There is no prerequisites for anyone to join this course. You don't have to have a mathematics GCSE or whatever it is to come. It's about finding out and understanding how things work around us from first principles. And it's not about sort of like a very specific, oh, you must do this in a step-by-step way. It's about thinking, like Sarah was saying, about critical thinking, about what to question, why we are asking questions, what is actually happening to our buildings. And so by the fact that you want to learn is the basis of this course. Just because you want to know more is enough. So it's really for everybody. And it's not to do with appreciation of like a specific question or whatever. It's about developing the skill to ask a question. So as Sarah says, you don't know everything. You can't possibly know everything. But it's actually, what question should I be asking the consultant or the engineer or the architect or the builder? Am I asking the right things? What could I ask the salesperson who wants to sell me this stuff? And are they just want to pull wool over my eyes? Not be, persuaded by, nonsensical thinking, but have reason to believe in yourself and building up your own sort of critical thinking and reasons for asking about concepts and why things are done, how they are done. So it's really for anybody who wants to have some fun, who's curious about the surroundings, and join us to learn about thinking.
Sounds great. Okay, thank you. And in terms of the course content, could you tell us briefly what content it covers?
So the series is in 5 modules. So I think of it as sort of each installment of fun. We'll explore a lot of things from different scales, all the way from the universe down to the molecule, and think about how units as a thing, like when you say kilowatt hour or whatever, what units actually mean. So when you look at the label of the insulation you buy or wherever, things actually make sense. And so we go from the environmental scale all the way down to the thermal principles and moisture principles and ventilation and daylight. And by those sort of topics, we explore the world around us, understand the building as we understand our bodies. It has a skin and an inside and an outside, and how it relates to each other. So it's about our building body, but also about our society and culture and our behavior and how that actually all interrelate to be a whole. and taking that holistic approach to design a comfortable and resilient built environment. So we go all the way from understanding the physics concepts to a practical understanding of the pitfalls, the risks, and building performance, and how they all relate to each other.
That sounds really helpful. And what format will the course take?
So these 5 modules will be delivered once a week and 2 hours each module. And the format of the course is actually trying to be as much like an in-person class as possible. So it's immersive. We expect to have activities, actually participation, engagement throughout the 2 hours that we're together. And so it's not like a sort of sit and listen lecture. It's definitely a participatory course.
Hey, thank you very much to Sarah and Glo, and we hope to see you all there. And for more information and to book, please see the AECB website, which is just www.aecb.net. Thanks.